Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of R&D Garage. I want to give a warm welcome to all my new subscribers. We're getting so close to 1,000 and I'm so excited. And I want to just thank all the viewers that have been there since the beginning or joined along the way. Again, thank you. Okay, well, we're doing part 2 of Blueberry's tranny install. Now we're getting ready to install everything else. Pretty soon she'll be drivable. Yes, yes, yes. Okay, so first thing we're gonna do is reinstall the sway bar. Now this is super important that you install the sway bar first after putting the tranny back on. If you do the shifter linkage first or anything else, basically you're gonna be sorry. It's not gonna be a good situation. For this one now, I'm gonna have a little bit of help. Dee is actually gonna hold the sway bar into place for me and I'm gonna go ahead and insert the nuts. That sounds funny. Okay, anyway, come on, Dee. There we go. Oops, sorry. Got that one? No. Shoot. There we go. Cool. There's one. I'm trying to go as fast as I can here. Hard to see. There we go. Okay, these are now a little bit tight and he can let go. Yay! Okay guys, now we're gonna go ahead and tighten up the nut and the bolt. And I'm gonna kind of go back and forth just until they're snug, and then I'm gonna go ahead and torque them to 16 foot-pounds. And these are both 12 millimeter. And I am on, perfect. That's nice and snug. Perfect, that's snug too. I'm just gonna go back one more time. Nope, that's definitely snug. Take off the socket. Put it on the torque wrench. There we go. Okay, now 16 foot-pounds. Perfect. 1 and a 2. Now I'm going to do the other side off camera. Okay guys, just another little PSA here. So you see my hard race bushing obviously is in place on the sway bar. It's important to do a silicone-based grease between the bushing and the sway bar itself. That'll keep it nice and lubed and you're good to go. Okay guys, it's Endlink time. Okay, so a quick word about this. You're going to want another layer of grease right here, and then you can go ahead and install the bushing. So some of these bushings are multi-directional, some of them aren't. So make sure you know which one yours is before you put it on. This one here is multi-directional, which means I can put it on this way, or I can flip it over and put it on the other way. So, too many choices. Okay, and now another good rule of thumb is we're gonna hold it, well first I'm gonna slide the top part through the sway bar at the beginning here. And why are you not doing this now? There we go. Okay, so we've got that in. And I'm gonna go ahead and put in this nylon locking nut just to kind of keep it into place. There we go, and it won't slide on too far, just so you know. Okay, now we're gonna hold down. Perfect. We're going to hold down the sway bar, hopefully with one hand, and trust me, if I can do this, you guys can do this. And we're going to go ahead, put on the other bushing, again, multi-directional. Put on the other cap, and remember, like I call it a cap washer. It almost looks like a little dishwasher. Well, not a dishwasher. I'm just going to move on. So we've got more grease on this. We're going to put it on like that, and you see I can still kind of hold it with both hands. and then I'm going to put on the bottom nut here. And again, just a little bit of finger tighten, because with, come on guy, oh shoot, oh, you gotta be kidding me. Okay, we're not refilming this, so I'm having my helper help. Thank you. Okay, so let me get this on and then I'll tell you the last part, because clearly today I can't talk and work on cars at the same time. Beautiful. Okay, so like I said, we're just gonna finger tighten. Ah, sweet, because we can't quite torque until the car is all the way with the weight on the tires, weight is fully off. Something like that. Oh, and now I gotta do the other side. That too. Okay guys, it's time to put on the inspection cover plate. So this basically goes right here. And just a word of caution, if your oil pan is aftermarket or if your oil pan gasket is a little bit of a thick boy, you're gonna have to shave this down or maybe bend it to fit. And right now, even though you can see there's multiple places where bolts can go in, we're only gonna use 3 to hold this on, because the next part after that will have the rest of the bolts. So this fits on just like this. And I'm gonna go ahead and put on the first bolt. So I'm just gonna put these on finger tight. There we go. Okay, time to move on. Okay guys, well, I'm gonna get to torquing all 3 of these. Before I do, I just wanted to let you know one more time, when you're putting on the plate itself, make sure that you have no overlap over these 2 empty bolt holes whatsoever, because you'll just have to untorque everything and basically do it over again. Okay, so before we begin, 2 10mm bolts on each side. This guy is a 12mm. We're tightening these 2 to 9 foot-pounds, and this one to 17 foot-pounds. Sorry, it's a lot of numbers at once. Okay, let's go for it. And with the 9 pounds, you're not really gonna hear anything. It's almost gonna be more of a feel, because we're using the little tiny guy here, so. There. So maybe you will hear something, but it's not gonna be that satisfying click. Perfect. Okay, let's do this guy. Come on. Always with the swivelly heads, I'm just like, okay. Perfect, I love that sound. Okay, now we can move on. Hey guys, stiffener bracket time. Okay, now these look completely different. This is the front one towards the front of the engine, and this one goes in the rear. They both use 17mm and 12mm bolts. This one has 2 12s and 1 17, and this one has 1 17 and 1 12, which is perfect because there's only 2 holes on it. So let's get started. I'm just gonna go ahead and tighten them up rather than torque. We'll save that for next. Okay. So what's kind of easy for me is if I take out the bolts, kind of fit it on, and then put the bolt in. There we go. And as soon as you begin to tighten that one down a little bit, you can line up the top end. So I started with the 17, and now I'm grabbing the 12. And I just realized, get my head out of the way, because if I accidentally drop it, it's falling on my noggin. There we go. So I'm just going to get these kind of snug. Multitask. There we go. Okay, so that's on. Let's go ahead with this guy. So this one looks super weird. Like at first you're like, okay, where the heck does this go? And it goes like that. And so I'm kind of lining up. I can see through the hole right there. I'm going to start with the biggest bolt, the 17. as a way to kind of hold it in. Let's see if you guys can see that. There we go. And now I'm going to grab one of the 12s and put it up here. There we go. Oof, got a crink in my neck. There we go. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Yeah. I'm just going to tighten this a little bit more. Put this one up in here. Perfect. You may have to work on the two outside ones a little bit before you put on the middle one, just because it has like a really long lead and it may not reach at first. So there we go. Ooh. My neck's like, can you not look up for a little bit? Beautiful. Oh, my girl, you're coming together. Awesome. We got those stiffener brackets on. Now we'll go ahead and torque. Okay, guys, we're about to remember more numbers here. So the 12 millimeter bolts are going to be torqued to 17 foot-pounds, and the 17 millimeter bolts are going to be torqued to 42 foot-pounds. I got it. Okay, so I'm doing the 17 foot-pounds first. I'm not going to recite all that again. And if you feel like you're torquing, okay, before I keep doing this, and it doesn't seem like it's torquing like in a normal way, which sounds kind of weird, just stop, because these are very much prone to stripping and you don't want that. Perfect. Awesome. Sweet. Okay, let's do these guys. So now 42 foot-pounds. Awesome. Beautiful. Okay, they're on. So you'll notice my bolts and the brackets are pretty much sparkling clean and dry. This is super important when you're working on the underside of your car. And how I got that is basically running through a ultrasonic cleaner that I found cheap on eBay with just a little bit of simple green. So I highly recommend that. They're super cheap, and I mean, look how great they turned out. They look brand new. So, way to go. You guys ever wake up one morning and think, man, I really don't know jack shaft? Do you guys know how long I've been waiting to use that? Okay, anyway, so intermediate shaft time. So on this, before you place it in, you're going to want to go ahead and grease up the splines, the cup washer on the other end, the splines on this end, and again the cup washer. And holding the shaft, make sure there's no sound, no bunching up, no binding. This looks great. Okay, another cool tip, keep this kind of up when you're placing it into the shaft hole, I guess, because there's a lot of hoses and stuff up there and it could get caught. And we want to make sure when you place it in that this actually touches the end. So let's go ahead. And so I'm going to scoot this up here. The hole is right here. And sometimes it may take a little bit of wiggling to get it in. There we go. Perfect. So you see how it's touching right there? That's exactly what we want. Now I'm going to go ahead and grab the bolts. Okay, so we have 3 bolts holding that intermediate shaft. I got myself with the jack shaft and then I couldn't write. Anyway, so these are all 14 millimeter and they're actually shoulder bolts. This is super, super important that you use the bolts that are designed to go into the shaft and or the bracket holding it up, and that's shoulder bolts. Okay, so I've already got one in just to kind of hold it up. That one is right here, and then the other 2, one right here and right on the other side. You can't miss them. So I'm just going to go ahead and finger tighten, and then I'll go ahead and use the torque wrench. There's that, And I apologize, my head's probably going to be in the way right now. Let's see, this one's a little bit harder to see. Actually, I can't see it at all. There we go. Not quite tall enough, and now I'm afraid to get on my stool. Just kidding. Well, not really. Okay. Perfect. Tighten this one down. Tighten that one in a little bit more. I'm going to start to use the socket. Why I took a shower before I started this, I don't know. I guess I wanted to look nice and clean for you guys. Beautiful. Tighten this one up just a little bit up top. Okay, make sure we're on. Beautiful. And you definitely want a short socket when you're doing this because there's not a whole lot of room. Beautiful. And there's that guy. Whew, a little bit of a break. Let the blood rush back. Okay. Okay, now we're gonna go grab the torque wrench. Whew. Okay, let's go ahead and torque these to 29 foot-pounds. And it doesn't really matter which one you want to start with. Beautiful. Come on, get on there. There we go. Perfect. Another thing done. Check. Well guys, thank you so much for watching another R&D Garage video. I love working on Blueberry so much, and it's so much fun for me to see her finally coming back together and knowing she's going to be well taken care of in the future. So at any rate, thanks again for subscribing to R&D Garage, for liking, commenting, and sharing. If you have like an Instagram account or something like that, I would be so freaking grateful if you guys would maybe put me in your stories, my channel, that kind of thing, just to kind of get the word spread out there, because I am so excited to hit 1,000 and more and start giving things away. I'm also going to be printing up more R&D Garage t-shirts, so if you're interested in one of those, feel free to message me and I'll be glad to send one out. So again, thank you guys for watching, and we'll have another video shortly. Have a great week.